What's going on, guys? Rudolph here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys the best and safest epic and legendary cards to craft for the Year of the Griffin. Alright, so starting off for the epics, we have Libram of Hope. Libram of Hope is a 9 mana paladin spell that restores 8 health and summons a 8/8 guardian with taunt and divine shield. Now this is a really good card to craft if you have the Libram package. Cards that discount Libram spells is what makes this card very powerful. You play any of the Aldor cards, and this card is basically a 6 mana or even less 8/8 taunt with divine shield for 6 mana. The healing is just a plus. This is a good card against aggro because you get to heal for 8 and create a big minion with taunt and divine shield. The 8/8 minion is also good against control decks because now your opponent has to find a way to deal with the 8/8. You should definitely craft this card if you have the Libram cards, because this is one of the best decks in the game right now. Up next is Darkglare, a 2 mana warlock minion with 2/3 stats, and its effect reads, after your hero takes damage, refresh a mana crystal. This is a great card for aggro decks in warlock called Zulok because it synergizes well with Flame Imp, Raise Dead, and your hero power. Taking damage from these cards can give you the opportunity to create a wide board early on, which can lead to quickly killing your opponent. Zul Warlock has always been an archetype in Warlock for years and will still be played in the future, and Darkglare will always be a good staple card for that archetype. So I suggest crafting it if you already have the cards that synergize with it, and if you're already playing some sort of zoo archetype. Now the last epic card is probably the strongest epic card Hearthstone has ever created. Secret Passage. Secret Passage is a 1 mana rogue spell, which says, replace your hand with 4 cards from your deck, swamp back next turn. It's basically a 1 mana card that draws you 4 cards. Now if you're a rogue main, you need to craft this card because it's played in every rogue deck. Right now the only cards that draw cards for rogue are Swindle, Cutting Class, Greyheart, and Dirty Tricks. Dirty Tricks is only played in Secret Rogue, and Swindle and Cutting Class are great, but sometimes you can't get the full value out of those cards. Greyheart is a good drawing card, and it's great in stealth decks, but you're limited to playing stealth cards in aggro decks. And Secret Passage is just way better by giving you 4 cards. Yes, these cards are temporary, but sometimes they can give you outs. And when you play this card when you're around 8 or 9 or 10 mana, most of the time you can play all 4 of those cards you drew. Secret Passage is a really insane and broken card, and it might get nerfed. But if it does, you can get your dust back. So this is the card that I suggest you craft out of all the cards I'm going to show you, especially if you're a rogue main, because this card is going to be used in every rogue deck and it's a really great drawing card. Now for the legendaries. A good legendary card to craft is Soul Mirror. Now priest decks are mainly control orientated. There really hasn't been an aggro priest or mid-range priest decks, and priests are mainly known for their control decks and their value that they can produce. Soul Mirror is the best removal spell in the game and can be fit in every priest deck. Soul Mirror is used to clear the board, but sometimes it doesn't fully clear the board, but it allows you to keep the minions that survive. This is what makes this card a very good board clear card and a valuable card. This is really good if your opponent has minions that have onboard effects like Death Rattles or Spell Burst or Summoning Minions, etc. And with the loss of Plague of Death and Breath of the Infinite due to rotation, Priest is going to need Soul Mirror as his main removal card, and this will always be used in every Priest deck. So if you enjoy playing Priest, or if you're a Priest main, you should absolutely craft Soul Mirror. Next we have a very underrated card, Instructor Fireheart. Fireheart has not been talked about due to Shaman being irrelevant in the meta, but she is mainly in this list because of her versatility. She could be used in almost all deck archetypes: control, mid-range, and even aggro. She is very useful in control and mid-range decks if you need to find cards for removals, or if you need to find cards to add value to your board. She can also be played in aggro decks as a last resort card for finding burst cards. So if you like to play Shaman, or if you're a Shaman main, you should definitely craft her. Last but not least, we have Jandis. Jandis is a 5 mana 2/1 that has a battle cry: summon 2 random 5-cost minions, secretly pick one that dies when it takes damage. Meaning the one that you secretly pick has 1 health, but it doesn't show for your opponent. They have to try to guess. Jandis is the best and the strongest mid-range card, and the best 5-drop in the game. Jandis can be played in both control and mid-range decks because of the value and presence she brings on the board. Having 2 5-drops on board on turn 5 is insane. Yes, one of them only has 1 health, but you can play mind games if you want to trick your opponent on spending resources removing the wrong card. Jandis can also be played in aggro deck as a mid-game threat or a finisher. Jandis is also secretly getting a buff due to the rotation of some bad 5-drops and also introducing new strong 5-drops. Jandis is a must craft if you're playing either mage or rogue. Remember to craft these cards at your own risk. The only card that's the best card that I think it's a must craft out of all the cards I gave out, it's Secret Passage. Now with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more free to play content.